We're going to learn now a little bit about the mitzvah of Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim on Leil Pesach. We know that every single night out of the year and every single day out of the year, there's a mitzvah called Sefiras Yetzias Mitzrayim. We remember the Yetzias Mitzrayim. We do that by saying the last parasha of Kriya Shema. Hashem Elokeichem asher hotzei eschem me'eretz Mitzrayim liyos lachem le'elokim ani Hashem Elokeichem emes. And when you mention the idea in that pasuk that I'm Hashem who took you out of Mitzrayim, every single morning and every single night, we're supposed to mention that Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. Now, we know on the Leil Seder, on Pesach night, we have a special mitzvah called Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. We're supposed to recount the story of the Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Achronim ask a question which is already rooted in the Rishonim. What exactly is the difference? The classic Ma'ashtana Halayla Zemikol Halaylos. What's the difference between the special, unique mitzvah of Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim that we do on the Seder night versus what we do every single night out of the year to remember the Yetzias Mitzrayim? There's supposed to be something special about the Leil Seder. What's different on that night than we have every single night out of the year? There's two major schools of thought that exist in the Achronim that we're going to discuss in today's shir. The question is written about originally in the Minchas Chinuch, Mitzvah Kaf Aleph, you have here on the sheets in front of you. And the Minchas Chinuch goes through three different approaches, three different ideas to try to explain what the difference might be. He rejects the first two and he accepts the last one, the final third, as his understanding of what this special mitzvah is. So if you take a look inside the sheets, and then number one, he mentions the idea that maybe every single night or day out of the year we can just remember Zechiras Yetzias Mitzrayim. Remember in our mind without actually saying with our mouth. If you look inside, you'll see why the Minchas Chinuch rejects that idea. Number two, he speaks about the idea, the possibility that maybe that on every night of the year, every night and every day of the year, we're supposed to mention there was a Yetzias Mitzrayim, but we don't have to elaborate. We don't have to explain at length what took place, what all the different stages, the Nisan, the Makos, etc. And again, he has a reason inside based on some Piskei Halach and various Achronim why that also wouldn't be true. That even with a very, very minimal kind of mention about Yetzias Mitzrayim at the Seder itself, you could also be Yotzei the mitzvah Sipur. So once again, he's a little bit in the dark why the mitzvah of Pesach is different than what we have every other night of the year. Finally, the Minchas Chinuch concludes, and this is the idea that he does accept, that the mitzvah on Pesach night is unique insofar as that it has to be related to somebody else. You have to communicate the ideas of Yetzias Mitzrayim to another person, to your children, and to your wife, to family members, a friend, etc. Says the Minchas Chinuch, if you don't have somebody else with you on the Leil Seder, up the creek without a paddle, you don't have a mitzvah of Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. You'll do the regular daily mitzvah of Zechira. Finally, there's an idea spoken about by Reb Chaim Brisker. Reb Chaim in the stencil in the Chidushay Grach Al Hashas notes that if one looks through the Rambam in Perek Zayin Halachos Aleph through Hey in Hilchos Chamitomat, so the Rambam has a whole long list of all different requirements that we do by the Leil Seder. He discusses the idea that we have to talk to our kids. He discusses the idea we have to do Derech She'elo Tshuva, asking questions and giving answers by the Seder. He discusses the idea that we have to have a din of Mascha Begenos or Mesayim B'Shever. You start on a low and then you end up on a high note. He discusses you have to mention the items of Karban Pesach, the Matzah, the Mar, and explain why we do those things. Then the Rambam ends all those halachos with the words of Devarim Ha'elu Kulam Heim HaNikram Haggadah. This is what's called the Haggadah. Reb Chaim is medayik from there that according to the Rambam, all of those things that we just mentioned are included in the unique mitzvah that's there on Leil Pesach. It wouldn't be enough just to mention Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. We won't have to go through that list that Amir Hashem you're about to learn over here throughout the course of the limud for today. Atzlach, have a great day.